In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how you work with channel mixer layers, what channel mixer layers are, and I think I'm going to show you guys a quick or a trick, I should say, with the selection tool. So what I have here is I have my original image, and like I do with a lot of my Photoshop work, I tend to duplicate the images so that again, if I mess up or go too far back, I can always go back to my original raw image to work it out. So that all being said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the channel mixer here, and I'm going to use the channel mixer to take colors and turn it to black and white really easily. It's so that I also don't lose or manipulate the pixels themselves, that I'm using a mask. So in other words, I could convert this image into grayscale. And it turns into grayscale that way, but it turns the whole thing grayscale at that point. And so what if I didn't want to do that? What if I just wanted to convert it to pieces of it to grayscale, but want pieces of it color? And so there's a way to do that, and that's through the channels and a channel mixer layer. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn this the Mesa Church here, and we're going to turn that into black and white, and leave the sky blue behind. So what I'm going to do is I'll select over here with my magic wand, and here's a couple of tricks that I referred to at the beginning. First thing I'm going to do is, if you look at my magic wand tutorial, you'll see that there's different settings for the magic wand, and I'm going to make sure I have it set to add to selection, meaning that if it's just the selection itself and I click over here, see how it deselects it over here? Click over here, deselects it over here. I want to add to the selection so that if I click over here and then click over here, it adds to it. Now I want to select all the blue, and I don't want to have to go in there and have to paint things out or try and get in there really tight with the magic wand. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to select, similar. And what this is going to do is it's going to go through the whole image and select pixels that are close to that bluish and light bluish kind of hue. And so you see that it selects everything in there for me. Now, to be fair, this trick only works when you've got really kind of broad palettes to kind of choose from here. So for example, there's really no blue reflection. If there were blue pixels in here, or blue flowers or something like that, it would probably select those too, and you would have to go in with the lasso tool or something like that and minus those out. So this is really going to work because I've got this one large field of blue. All right, so that being said, since it's the image, well, we'll just kind of show you. Another trick that you can do is I've got this sky selected, so I'm going to go to select. I'm going to save the selection, and it'll be its own channel or something like that, but I will just call this sky, and we'll click OK. So now if I deselect it, for example, and I say, oh no, I want to select it, but I don't want to have to go through all that trouble again, all I've got to, with the magic wand again, all I got to do to select my sky again is go to select, load selection, and select sky. Click OK, and my sky's back. All right, so let's go to the channel mixer. So here's my layer, or rather my modification layers, and we're going to scroll down and we're going to select channel mixer, and you can see that it creates a mask. And so we're going to pull my properties layer over so you guys can see it, so that if I click monochrome right here, it turned my sky black and white. Well, I say to myself, well, I didn't want my sky black and white, so I wanted the church to be black and white. So we're going to back up in my process, and I'm going to, since I want the church black and white, I'm going to go to select inverse. And what that does is it flips it, and now the church is what's selected, so that now when I go and select my channel mixer, it creates my mask, and then when I click monochrome, my church now is black and white. Now the idea here is that I can make it go back to default for a second. That once it's masked off, it's kind of similar to hue saturation in terms that I can adjust colors to it, and I can make some really kind of nice sort of trippy effects as well. It doesn't always have to be black and white, but when you see that effect of when they have it black and white and parts of it are in color, that's probably what they're doing, is that they're using the channel mixer layer. And so if I turn this layer off, you can see my pixels remain unharmed. It's just masked off. And I can even adjust the contrast of that black and white. And I can adjust the colors. You're not going to see the colors in it, but yeah, that's a way that you can do it with a channel mixer layer. And I could even go further. So we'll deselect, and I'm going to load my selection again. And I'll select sky. And I could create on another layer, whoops, another layer. I'm going to select channel mixer. And in this one, I'm not going to click monochrome, but it's going to affect my sky. So if I wanted to do something really kind of trippy, I can adjust the sky to it as well and make the sky have this kind of surreal effect to it. And I'm going to leave the red high and bring the green back down. Take the blue out. There's not going to much happen in the darks and the lights and the contrast of it, but that's going to be pretty much it. All right, so yeah, you can have more than one channel mixer layer on an image, and you can manipulate multiple things as long as you have selections for them. But they create some really interesting visual effects, really kind of surrealism effects. But that's some selection tricks that you can learn, as well as how you manipulate the channel mixer layers in Adobe Photoshop.